Portugal continue their protests. Protests led by Cristiano Ronaldo.
These are the 10 worst refereeing decisions in football history. At number 10 is Stefan Kiesling's phantom goal for Bayer Leverkusen against Hoffenheim.
So with the corner, the save! He does make his mark!
At first it looked like there was absolutely nothing wrong with that decision to award a goal, but when you take a second look, it became very obvious that the referee had made a big error. The ball had gone in through a hole in the side netting, but it was counted as a goal. The referee was shown the hole through which the ball passed, but he refused to overturn the decision. It's stuff like this that makes you appreciate the introduction of technology in the modern game. And speaking of technology, this next decision was so bad that it forced FIFA to introduce a new bit of technology ASAP. So, it was the 2010 World Cup and England were taking on Germany in the knockout rounds. The Three Lions were 2-1 down when Lampard unleashed a shot which hit the crossbar and bounced over the line.
Oh, looking for room. Lampard! Did it go in? No, say the officials. Oh, it's Wembley. 90.
Goal, right? Well, the referee said no. Everybody was already celebrating England's equalizer, but the referee refused to award the goal. It was absolutely insane to see, and even worse because England ended up losing the game 4-1 and getting knocked out. Now, that goal right there was one of the major catalysts for the introduction of goal line technology into football. But even with goal line technology having been introduced, we still saw a similar occurrence in 2021, more than a decade after Lampard's ghost goal. This time it involved Cristiano Ronaldo. In a World Cup qualifier between Portugal and Serbia, Ronaldo thought he had scored the winner in additional time, but it wasn't given despite the ball having crossed the line.
Nuno Mendes. Goalkeeper's come out, hasn't been able to get there. Now was that cleared off the goal line? Twice! Incredible! Portugal claiming that they should have a goal.
There was no goal line technology or even VAR in use that day, so the referee had no assistance. And that error nearly cost Ronaldo and Portugal a place at the 2022 World Cup. But that's not even the worst refereeing decision a referee has made in the VAR era. Come, take a look at this guy who blew for full time twice before the clock hit 90.
Well, Gianni Sakazwe seemed to blow his full-time whistle there, even though there are only 85 minutes on the clock. Well, this time, he has definitively brought the match to the end, and there's still not 90 minutes on the clock. Gianni Sakazwe signals that Mali have won this game 1-0, and it's only now that we're going to tick out round to...
This one happened at the 2021 AFCON in a game between Mali and Tunisia. Gianni Sakazwe was the referee in charge, and I wonder why he was in so much of a hurry. But for some reason, this dude blew for full time in the 86th minute and once again in the 89th minute. It was a very strange thing to see, to be honest. I wonder what was going through that referee's mind. Well, after much pressure, he later asked the players to come back out to play out the last few minutes of the game. But the Tunisians refused to come out. Honestly, I wouldn't have come out either. That's just a disgrace. But you know what's an even bigger disgrace? Seeing technology fighting technology in real time. See, these new techs were brought into the game to help referees officiate games better, but when they start causing more confusion, what is the point then? Take a look at this, for example.
Vicious. Cabral got there, thinks he scored, denied by a combination of Thiago Sarr and the post. Ah, no, it is a goal.
Arthur Cabral scored a goal against Sporting Braga, and the goal line technology says it's a goal, only for the VAR to step in and overrule that decision. So what does that mean then? That we can't trust the tech anymore? Because why on earth are goal line technology and VAR telling us different things? That was just horrible refereeing all around. But surely not as horrible as sending the wrong man off, is it? This one happened in one of those huge London derbies between Arsenal and Chelsea back in the pre-VAR days.
And here's Fernando Torres, and he's teed up Hazard! Oh, it was almost three! The appeal is handball. Andre Mariner is giving himself some thinking time.
Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain stopped a certain Chelsea goal with his hand and should have been sent off for that. But the referee turned around and showed the red card to Kieran Gibbs instead. Nah, this was just too funny, I can't lie. Like, yeah, I can see the resemblance between Chamberlain and Gibbs, but to make such an error on one of the biggest stages of football is still unforgivable. And what made this worse was that Chamberlain even went to the referee and told him that he was the one who committed the foul and not Gibbs. But the referee refused to change his mind. This is something VAR would have sorted out very easily. You know what else they would have sorted out easily? This hilarious penalty that was awarded to Raheem Sterling in a Champions League game.
Here's Raheem Sterling, who has gone over and got a penalty. Oh dear.
Listen, it's not a dive. That is not a dive.
My man literally just tripped over his own feet and the referee gifted him a penalty. Can you imagine that? Nah, this is just too funny. This is why I'll always love that VAR was brought in. Because seeing that get given a penalty is just a total disgrace to the sport we love. But if you think that that's a disgrace, I promise you haven't seen anything yet. Let's get into the top 3. At number 3 we have the referee with the biggest ego you'll ever see, Tony Chaperon. This guy really sent a player off for what was a complete and very obvious accident.
He's chipped the referee, that's an inadvertent coming together there, and the referee's then stabbed out and put it him.
Well, that's quite incredible. That's accidental. I don't think there's any intent at all from Carlos.
Like, bro, it's so obvious that the collision between the player and the ref was purely accidental, but the referee still gave him a second yellow card. And that was after he swung his leg at a player. Now, that right there is exactly how not to referee a game of football. That was so shocking to see. And the referee was banned from officiating after that game. Very well deserved. You know who else definitely deserves to be banned? This referee, who showed Josip Simunici 3 yellows before showing him a red card. One of the simplest rules of football is that once a player sees 2 yellow cards in a match, he is immediately sent off. But Graham Paul seemed to forget that in this World Cup game between Croatia and Australia.
Luca, tocca per lui, arriva l'intervento falloso, calcio di punizione importante conquistato dall'Australia. Kennedy prova ad andare via lo stesso, Kennedy fermato e qui ci deve essere calcio di punizione per l'Australia, ci deve essere anche il giallo per Simonic.
È finita.
E adesso è finita davvero.
È espulso veramente Simonic stavolta. Stavolta gliel'ha dato un altro.
He showed Simunici 2 yellows during the game, but no red card came out for him. It was not until after the full-time whistle that Simunici got a 3rd yellow for dissent, and then an eventual sending off. That was funny refereeing, but the explanation was even funnier. Remember, the game was between Croatia and Australia, yeah? Now, here's what's interesting. Simunici, a Croatian defender, has an Australian accent, having grown up there, and the referee said in his biography that that was perhaps what confused him a bit. After the 2nd yellow, Simunici can be seen saying some words to the referee. The accent probably put him off and he thought he was showing the yellow card to an Australian player. Simunici agreed with that sentiment, saying that his Aussie accent probably spared him the red after his 2nd yellow. But despite having a second chance at life, he just wasn't able to avoid the 3rd yellow. What a guy. Now, all these decisions might have been crazy, but definitely not as crazy as what happened in the 2009 Champions League semi-final between Barcelona and Chelsea.
Anelka dentro del área aguantando y el árbitro dice que es saque de portería. Maludá que la vuelve a ganar Anelka por el centro, Piqué con la mano y el árbitro dice mejor no podía estar colocado, Dice que le pega en el pecho. De cabeza, el rechace, balón que le cae en las manos a Samuel Eto'o y el árbitro es muy valiente.
Es imposible pitar mano ahí a la pelota.
Over the 2 legs of that encounter, the refereeing was nothing short of disgraceful. In the first leg, Barcelona got a wrong offside call, got denied a penalty, and saw Michael Ballack escape what should have been a clear red card. Then, in the second leg, Drogba was denied a penalty after he had his shirt pulled by Abidal in the box. Eric Abidal was wrongfully sent off, and Chelsea were denied another penalty after Piqué handled the ball in the box. As Drogba said, it was indeed a disgrace. That was just truly embarrassing. And you know what also feels embarrassing? Watching your favorite player produce their worst play on the pitch. Even the GOATs have been horrendous one too many times. You don't believe me? Check out this video.